Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Test 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2. good afternoon, and welcome back once again to Nobby's Ballpark in Cleveland, Ohio, as Case Western Reserve University looking to follow up on a 10-2 win in Game 1 of today's doubleheader. And we'll head back out onto the field as we get set to begin Game 2 in just a few minutes. And the Spartans will send first-year lefty Charlie Griffith to the mound here, trying to complete the sweep of the doubleheader on the first day of this series. We'll go ahead and get you more info on Charlie, but first let's go ahead and get you the Emory University lineup for Game 2. Leading off is the center fielder, Jake Lawson. Aiden Conley playing third and batting second. Matthew Sicoli playing right field and hitting third. And Jack Halloran, the first baseman, hits fourth. Blake Dinchman, the designated hitter in the 5 spot in the order. He'll be the DH in this game after catching all 9 innings in the first game. Zach Wasserloff, the left fielder, hits 6th. Jonah Ronsky, the catcher, bats 7th. Brock Liu playing second base and batting 8th. And then Zach Hansen, the shortstop, will hit 9th. So the only change in the lineup for Emory is the insertion of Jonah Ronsky in a catcher as Dinchman moves to designated hitter role for the game after the Spartans stole 7 bases in Game 1. Defensively for Case Western Reserve, it'll look similar out there to what we saw in Game 1 as well. First baseman is Dane Camphausen. Second baseman, Franco Alonso. The shortstop is Nate Arterburn. And third base, Zach Carinci. In the outfield, Jay Smith getting the start in left, which pushes Logan Andraco into center field. Harm's still out there in right. Jack Anderson will be back behind the plate for this game, and pitching to him will be the first-year lefty Charlie Griffith, who enters the game with a 2-1 record on the season and a 5.96 ERA. He'll be making his 4th start of the year and his 7th appearance overall through 22 2/3 innings. Griffith has given up just 19 hits for a 229 average. He's gotten into a little bit of trouble with the walks when he's issued 15 and 22 2/3 innings, but has struck out 26. When he is around the strike zone, he is very effective, and that is what the Spartans will hope to see from Griffith today as they await the arrival of the Emory starters. And the home plate umpire kind of signaling, hey, let's get this thing going. Everyone's ready. He's asking them to run a little bit. And we are set to get going here. So Griffith ready on the mound, the first-year lefty out of Columbus, Ohio. He wears number 3. St. Charles Prep delivers a first pitch strike. And we are underway. Game 2 of 2 today. Game 2 of 4 in the series. Lawson at the plate hitting at .383 on the year. The center fielder 1 for 3 in the first game of the doubleheader. Takes a called strike, and it's 0-2. Breaking ball there, 75 mile an hour. Pitch from Griffith. Here's the 0-2 offering. Swung on, grounded to short. Over there to get his Arterburn. Comes up, throws, and just a step ahead of the speedy Lawson for the first out of the game. So 1 retired. And they'll bring Aiden Conley to the plate. Conley, a .414 hitter on the year with 7 home runs, 33 runs batted in, 1 for 4 with a run scored in the first game. Griffith ready to work here. From the stretch with the bases empty, delivers the first pitch down and out, ball 1. Griffith coming off a start last week against Wash U. He's emerged as one of the early options in this starting rotation for the Spartans. Delivers a strike and the count evens 1-1. We've seen some good from Griffith early in his career, as that's a called strike. We've seen some okay from Griffith so far. But again, like many of these Spartan pitchers, when he is in the strike zone, he has been good. His best start of the season came in a Case Western Reserve loss, not Griffith's fault. Is a swing and a miss at the big breaking ball for strike 3. And there are 2 gone as Conley down swinging. Against John Carroll, again, that was a 4-3 loss. Griffith left the game after pitching 7 shutout innings. Allowed just 4 hits and 2 walks. He struck out a career-high 8 in that game. So a very talented young pitcher. The question is just how quickly can he mature and what kind of an impact can he make this year. So far, so good in this one as he delivers the 84-mile-an-hour fastball off that outside corner, and it's a 1-0 count. Batter at the plate is Matthew Sicoli. And there's a called strike. The Eagles went down in order in the top of the first in the first game. As Lawson grounded out, Conley flew out, Sicoli flew out for the 3 outs in the first in game 1. That one just misses down, and it's 2-1. And Griffith looking to replicate that feat here. Has 2 away, nobody on, but behind the count is Sicoli, 2-1. Sicoli is hitting at .398 on the year, 2 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Hits out in the air towards the gap, left center field, and that's going to get down for extra bases. Tracking it down in center is Andraco. Sicoli pulls into second and will stop there with a 2-out double. And the Eagles early on here have a man in scoring position with 2 away, and their cleanup hitter Jack Halloran coming to the plate. So Halloran will try to get the Eagles on the board here. He'll step in. Hitting at .365 on the year with 7 home runs, 38 runs batted in this year for Halloran. Griffith delivers the first pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. Fastball there from Griffith. Ground ball back up towards the middle, and it gets through for a base hit just under the glove of Alonso. Coming up throwing is Andraco. It's cut off by Camphausen, and back-to-back 2-out hits, including an RBI single for Halloran, give Emory the early lead. It's 1-0 as the Eagles on top here in the top of the first. So after retiring the first 2 batters of the game in short order, a double for Sicoli and a single for Halloran, and Emory has taken a 1-0 lead. Pickoff attempt to first, not in time. They'll bring Blake Dinchman to the plate. Dinchman, the designated hitter, hitting at .404 in the season with a home run and 30 runs batted in. Little bit high with the fastball there, and it's 1-0 on Dinchman. Dinchman went 1 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts in the first game. Another one down and in. It's 2-0. Fouls off the 2-0 offering. That was an 85-mile-an-hour fastball. A little extra on that one from Griffith. And the count goes to 2-1. Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Second game of what is slated to be a 4-game series. Again, weather tomorrow not looking great. The teams are currently scheduled to play 2 tomorrow. I would be surprised if we got 2 in tomorrow. More likely looking 1 tomorrow or 1 Sunday or 2 on Sunday. But the weather, unless it's improved since I checked earlier, not looking promising for tomorrow. That ball hit in the air down the right field line and foul. And the count evens 2-2. Chances of rain throughout the day tomorrow. Sunday looking much more promising. And that one, they have the runner picked off. The throw goes to second, and it's in time to get the out. And so that will end the inning. So a run scores for Emory. And we will head into the bottom of the first inning in a 1-0 game. Emory with the early lead. We'll go ahead and get you the batting order for Case Western Reserve here in just a second. Leading things off for the Spartans is Jack Anderson, the catcher. Nick Harms batting second and playing right field. Tyler Stilson, the designated hitter, bats third. And then Franco Alonso, the second baseman, in the cleanup spot. Dane Camphausen batting fifth and playing first base. It'll be Jay Smith in the lineup batting sixth and playing left. In center field and batting seventh is Logan Andraco. It'll be Zach Carinci, the third baseman in the 8th spot, and Nate Arterburn, the shortstop, rounds out the lineup. He'll bat 9th. For Emory defensively, first baseman is Jack Halloran, second baseman Brock Liu. Shortstop Zach Hansen, third baseman is Aiden Conley. In the outfield, Zach Wasserloff, and left center fielder is Jake Lawson, right fielder is Matthew Sicoli. Doing the catching is Jonah Ronsky. And on the mound for Emory will be Ryan Reynolds, who sports number 10, a right-handed pitcher. Reynolds 2-3 on the year with an ERA of over 8 for the season. An 8.01 ERA. He's making his 8th appearance overall, his 7th start. Through 30 1/3 innings this year, he's allowed 46 hits. That's a .341 opponent's average, but he's walked just 10 and has struck out 28, a little bit less than a batter per inning. Reynolds, a senior out of Roseland, New Jersey, Del Barton High School, 6'2", 180-pound righty.
Leading off the bottom of the first inning for your Case Western Reserve University Spartans, the catcher number 5, Jack Anderson.
And he'll start things off here against Jack Anderson, who collected his 264th career hit in Game 1. That was a new program record. Reynolds gets set. First pitch on the way. And Anderson swinging at the first pitch, fouls it back. It's 0-1. It'll be Anderson followed by Harms and Stilson in the first for the Spartans, who won the earlier game 10-2 and are looking to get the sweep of the doubleheader. Count evens now, 1-1. Last year, in a 9-7 loss to Case Western Reserve, Reynolds went 6 innings, allowed just 2 hits. That one popped up foul and out of play. He did allow 4 runs, but just one of them were earned. He walked 3, struck out 5 in that game. Hit 1 batter. In 2023, he went 5 2/3 against Emory here in Cleveland as that ball is sent in the air, and it's a base hit for Jack Anderson into center field. So Anderson with the leadoff single, and the Spartans have the potential game-tying run on the base pass as Nick Harms, a one-man wrecking crew, steps to the plate.
The right fielder, number 26, Nick Harms.
So Harms will try to keep his strong stretch of play going. Collected 4 hits and as many at-bats in the first game. Drove in 2, scored 2, also drew a walk. Takes that one down and out, ball 1. Mentioned this is Emory's 3rd trip to Cleveland since site play in the UAA began back in the 2017 season. As the 1-0 on the way. This is the first time that the Spartans have won the first game of a 4-game series against Emory here in Cleveland. 2-0 now, the count on Harms. Well, an opportunistic count here for Nick Harms, who is now hitting .449 for the season. 7 home runs, 32 runs batted in. And he takes a big cut at that pitch, comes up empty, and it's 2-1. Fastball there from Reynolds. Looked like maybe a 2-seam fastball there from Reynolds. A little sink to it. 2-1 on the way. Pickoff attempt and diving back in is Anderson. Jack Anderson is a threat to run. He's stolen 4 bases on 5 attempts this season. The Spartans were on the move often in the first game against Dinchman. We'll see if they take the same strategy here with Ronsky behind the plate. 2-1 on the way. Anderson not going. Harms holds up and takes a called strike 2, 2-2. 2-2 offering. Pickoff attempt instead. Anderson diving back in. So Ryan Reynolds trying to get his season back on track. Runner goes, pitch swung on and fouled back by Harms. So Anderson will retreat. Reynolds coming off a tough outing against NYU last week. Through 6 1/3 innings of work, he gave up 9 hits, 9 runs, 8 of them earned, struck out 6, walked 2. And just back in time is Anderson. Both Reynolds and the first baseman Halloran thought they had gotten Anderson leaning there. This is an Emory team that has a bit of a tradition of being able to pick runners off. That dates back to Connor McGinnis, who was with the team in the mid-2010s, a former pitcher for the team who went on to be the pitching coach. So that misses outside. McGinnis had a great pickoff move on his own right, taught it to a bunch of the pitchers, especially the lefties. McGinnis now the assistant pitching coach for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Been there with them since I think about 2016 in the Dodgers organization. 1-0 Emory leading. We're in the bottom of the first. Nobody out. Runner on for the Spartans. Nick Harms at the plate. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Harms down swinging. And now Tyler Stilson will be the batter here with the runner on and 1 away. Stilson hitting .361 on the season, was 1 for 3 with an RBI in the early game today. Batting here with 1 out and a runner on. First pitch just outside, ball 1. Home plate umpire is George Tidewell for game 2 here. Eric Dickey out in the field. They switch positions from where they were in the earlier game. The 1-0. And Stilson wastes a breaking pitch, and it's 1-2. Or pardon me, 1-1. Been a big year for Tyler Stilson, who was the winning pitcher in game 1, in addition to his work at the plate. Stilson at the plate, again, that .361 batting average, 5 home runs, 25 runs batted in. He's doubled 5 times, has a triple. He's been a great player for the Spartans. Is that one in the air, center field with Anderson running. Jack's going to have to play this careful as the catch is made. Now the throw back to first, and it is in time for the out. That was a tough one for Anderson, who waited maybe a little bit long before he headed back to the bag there and could not get back in time, and that ends the inning. So it remains a 1-0 lead for Emory as we move to the second. Griffith back out on the mound for the Spartans when we return. Charlie Griffith back out for his second inning of work. Got the first two batters retired quickly in the first, but then gave up a double and a single to Sokoli and Halloran. And Emory has taken a 1-0 lead early in this one. 18 pitches, 12 for strikes in the first inning for Griffith. We'll be beginning inning number 2 against the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Dinchman, Wasserloff, and Ronsky. First pitch, breaking ball at the knees for a called strike, 0-1. Dinchman was batting last inning when Halloran was picked off at first base. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, nice pitch. Just missed off that outside corner. It's 1-1. That fastball is good right at the knees for a called strike, 1-2. In the dirt, 2-2. Dinchman, the DH for game 2. Struggled in the first game to control the running game behind the plate, so besides giving him a little break, which may have been scheduled anyway, might be a better defensive option, or at least a better option to control the base running, which the Spartans ran early and often in game 1. 7 stolen bases. 3-2 on the way from Griffith. Swing and a miss at the curve, strike 3. Anderson completes the play at first. And that'll be the first out of the inning. Second strikeout of the game for Griffith.
Batting for the Eagles, the left fielder, number 23, Zach Wasserloff.
So one away, bases empty, and Zach Wasserloff will be the batter. Wasserloff, the left fielder, 225 hitter on the year, 20 runs driven in. He was 1 for 3 with an RBI in game 1. And down and out, ball 1. Anderson tried to get that strike on that lower outside corner, but couldn't get the call. And another one that just misses, 2-0. Might have been a little high there with the breaking balls. So Griffith behind in the count. And Wasserloff fouls that one back. So 2-1. In other UAA action, Brandeis is leading NYU 4-3 in the top of the 8th. Again, all 3 games today in the UAA, or all 3 sites in the UAA will be playing doubleheaders. Is charging in as Andreyko lays out and makes the catch. 2 gone. Long run there in from Andreyko for the second out of the inning. Chicago beat Washington University 3-2, so Chicago now 5-0 in UAA play. They have a second game coming up shortly in Chicago. Plate now is Jonah Ronsky with 2 outs and the bases empty. He takes ball 1. Ronsky seeing his first action of the series, his 10th start of the year overall. He's hitting a .250 with a home run and 6 runs batted in. Sends that in the air deep towards left field. Back over, though, is Smith. Now turns, takes a step in, and puts it away for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We will move to the second. Alonzo, Camphausen, and Smith in the bottom of the frame due up for the Spartans, trailing 1-0 to Emory when we return. Franco Alonso set to lead things off after the Spartans got a hit in the first inning, but a double play erased Jack Anderson from the base paths. And so we will begin the bottom of the second in a 1-0 game. Ryan Reynolds, who again has a little bit of a track record of pitching decent against the Spartans, starts the at bat to Alonso off with the ball, 1-0. Now called strike, and it's 1-1. Swing and a miss as Alonso ramped up on that. Yeah, you could imagine when Reynolds is going well, he's going to get guys to really drill the ball into the ground, get a lot of ground ball outs. Down and away, 2-2. Two on the way. Left that one hanging for Alonso, but Franco couldn't make him pay. Count stays at 2-2. Alonso hitting at .346 on the year, 2 home runs, 15 runs batted in for Alonso. He went 1 for 3 with an RBI and 2 walks in the first game of the day. 2-2 count on Franco with the bases empty to lead off the second. And he just got a piece of that breaking ball and fouls it away to stay alive. 2-2 still. Two offering. Ground ball, and another one fouled away by Alonso. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss as Alonso took a big cut at that, a little off balance, and goes down swinging for the strikeout. Second strikeout of the game for Reynolds. And Dane Camphausen will now step up to bat. And that one misses into Camphausen. It's 1-0. Two and 0. Ground ball, first base side, backhanded by Halloran. And he will take it to the bag himself for the second out of the inning. So 2 quickly retired here by Reynolds. And now Jay Smith will be the batter, trying to avoid the 1-2-3 inning. Smith batting at .286 this season. This will be his 9th start of the year. 14th game he's played in overall. 6 runs batted in. 2 doubles and a triple for Jay among his 10 hits this year. First pitch. Up high, ball 1. Called strike, 1-1. Smith out of Goshen, Kentucky. The senior left-handed hitter. Came into the program as a catcher. Takes that one outside. We've seen a lot more of Jay in the outfield over the last few years. Good contact hitter. As that open stance at the plate is the 2-1 on the way. Line drive, center field, base hit. That'll get down for a single for Smith, who takes a big turn at first, but nowhere to go as he retreats. Second hit of the game for the Spartans. It comes with 2 outs and the base is empty. And now Logan Andraco a chance to prolong the inning further here with Smith at first and 2 away. Andraco trying to keep his average above 300, hitting at .301 on the year. No home runs, 12 RBIs this season for Andraco. Smith takes the lead at first. First pitch on the way. Breaking ball outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball back up the middle, snagged by Reynolds. He'll jog it to the bag a few steps before flipping to Halloran. And that will end the inning. So the Spartans, for the second straight inning, get a base hit, but nothing to show for it. They leave a man stranded, and we'll move along to the third. It'll be Lou, Hansen, and Lawson. 8-9-1 in the Emory order. 1-0 Eagles when we return. Emory will carry a 1-0 lead into the third and come up to bat here, sending their 8-9-1 hitters to the plate. Griffith sat down the side in order in the first, or pardon me, in the second, and will now face Lou, Hansen, and Lawson in the third. First pitch. And Brock Lou takes it for a ball. Home plate umpire, it's George Tidewell. Looked like he was going to call a strike and then thought differently. Now the 1-0 on the way. And that's a called strike. Fastball about letter high. Good job by Anderson to frame that on the outside corner. And it's 1-1 on Lou, who is hitting a .259 on the year. 1 home run, 12 runs batted in for Lou. Ground ball up towards the middle. Alonso with the backhand. Long throw to first. And Camphausen with the big stretch to get it for the out. Nice play by Franco Alonso, who had to go deep into the hole to get that one and launch a throw from the other side of the second base bag, but able to get Lou by a step for the first out of the inning. So 1 away now. Batter will be the 9-hitter and shortstop Zach Hansen. First pitch to Hansen. And again, a close one there for a ball. That missed outside, but another one where the home plate umpire thought he was going to call a strike, kind of did the turn, stuck his hand out and said, nah, not actually. Here's the 1-0. Another one misses outside, and it's 2-0. Hansen, a .266 hitter on the year, 9 runs batted in. 3 extra base hits and 17 hits total. He sends that foul. All 3 of his extra base hits have been doubles. Hansen 1 for 4 in the early game, that 10-2 Spartans win. Down and out, ball 3. Griffith has looked good so far today despite allowing the run. About to throw his 38th pitch of the game. It comes with 1 out, a 3-1 on the way. Swing and a miss. Tied him up with an inside fastball. It's 3-2. Three-two from Griffith. And a little up high, ball 4. That did not miss by much. So Hansen, the 9-hitter, draws the walk with 1 away. He's on at first now for the leadoff hitter, Jake Lawson, who grounded out to short in his first at-bat. Lawson, a lefty, hitting at .378 on the year. Tough guy to double up here. First pitch. And the breaking ball catches for a strike, 0-1. Now the 0-1. And a little bit outside. Try to go back to that same pitch. See if you get Lawson to reach for it after catching the strike zone the first time. Count evens, 1-1. Pickoff attempt at first, not in time. Here's the 1-1. Called strike, 1-2. Couple pitches now for Griffith to play with here with a 1-2 count. Pickoff attempt again at first, not in time. Zach Hansen on at first. He drew a 1-out walk. Lawson at the plate, 0 for 1 on the day. 1-2 from Griffith. In the air, center field deep, but playable for Andraco. Takes a few steps back and makes the catch. 2 gone. Retreating to first base is Hansen. And a chance for Griffith to get through a scoreless inning here. But a tough hitter coming up in Aiden Conley, who he did strike out in his first at-bat. Conley, the lefty. Now hitting at .410 on the year. 9 doubles, 3 triples, 7 home runs, 33 runs batted in for Conley. 1 hit in 5 at-bats now today, including the earlier game. Griffith being very careful with Hansen at first base. Ground ball back to the middle. Arterburn fields it. It's right of the bag. He doesn't even have to move to step on the bag, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. So Griffith works around a 1-out walk, and we'll move along into the bottom of the 3rd. Emory leading 1-0, 8-9-1 for the Spartans. Carinci, Arterburn, and Anderson due up when we return. Bottom of the order for the Spartans with Carinci and Arterburn set to get things going. Anderson, the leadoff hitter, to follow in a 1-0 ball game. Each team with a pair of hits. Ryan Reynolds begins his third inning. Impressive so far. He's allowed hits in each of the first and second innings, but worked around them efficiently. He begins the third inning with 31 total pitches, 20 for strikes, and starts things off against Zach Carinci. And the first pitch fastball sails up high, an 83-mile-an-hour fastball for ball one, 1-0. I would imagine when Reynolds gets in trouble, it's because he's elevating his pitches, and so that's something to watch out for as this game goes on. Another one that was a little high, called a strike, and it's 1-1. But the location has been a bit higher here in this first at-bat against Carinci than we've seen in previous innings when he's really been keeping the ball down low. That one dips below the strike zone. Carinci now hitting at 308. Sprays that one foul, and it's 2-2. Came into the first game of the doubleheader batting at 255. He raised his batting average 53 points with a 4-for-4 showing at the plate in game one. 2-2. Chopper, second base side, and booted by the second baseman. And safe at first is Carinci. So that'll be an error on the second baseman, as Arterburn bunting that one foul, and it's an 0-1 count. Yeah, that's a ball, and it's not an easy one for the second baseman, Lou, to get to, but he got there. He got the glove down, and frankly, that's so close to the bag, there's not much you need to do to make that play once you get there. Again, one of those tweener calls, but I think you got to give that as an error on Lou. Pickoff attempt down to first. Carinci was a little stuck in the mud there, but got back in time. Carinci, a deceptively good base stealer. 4 stolen bases on 5 attempts this season. He's actually just such a smart baseball player. He's very opportunistic on the base paths. The 0-1 to Arterburn. Another pickoff attempted again, close. One. Reynolds with a runner on and nobody out. 9-hitter Arterburn at the plate. Takes it up and in for a ball. Wheel play on in the Emory infield, it looked like. As the count goes to 1-1. See if Arterburn decides. We've seen this a lot from him. Ooh, and another one. That one gets away. Carinci will move up to second at least, and he'll try for third. Here comes the throw from Halloran, and not in time. And that is the second time today we've seen that from an Emory pitcher where the pickoff attempt has gone awry and allowed the runner to move up from first to third. So it's a 1-1 count now with a runner at third, a chance for Arterburn to tie the game. Got to imagine the bunt is off, although certainly Arterburn capable. We saw it in the first game of a squeeze play. Hits that one hard to third, and it gets first, and it gets through for a base hit. A rocket to first that snuck under Halloran's glove. Base hit there on a hard hit ball by Arterburn the opposite way. 90 off the bat, coming right at the first baseman. So it's a 1-1 game now on the RBI single for Arterburn. Reynolds will fix his shoe before taking the hill again, and now he'll face Jack Anderson with nobody out and a runner at first base in Arterburn. Anderson, 1-for-1 in the game with a base hit, but was erased from the base paths on an inning-ending double play on kind of one of those, a tweener pop-up as Anderson squares the bunt, pulls it back, and takes a ball 1-0. That's the second time today we've seen Anderson square to bunt, and that's not really something we've seen a lot in his repertoire. He laid down a great bunt earlier, although he got handcuffed by an up-and-in fastball in the first at-bat of Game 1 to lead off that game. Another pickoff attempt there, diving back in once again is Arterburn. So we're tied at 1-1. Emory's defense failing them in this inning. 2 errors and potentially a third that could have been charged as Anderson sends that one deep in the gap towards right center field. That's going to get... No, it's caught. It's caught for the out, and they'll throw back to first, and that will be... I think they caught it for the out. And Anderson standing at second, but they called that out. They'll ask the umpires... Matt Englander will ask if the umpires can discuss this, but I got to assume that that play is going to stand. It's a tough one for the home plate umpire to overturn, even though they'll talk about it. But again, I can't imagine this getting overturned here unless the home plate umpire. That is an unbelievable play in right field by Sicoli. And I believe it will stand. And so that will go as a double play. Arterburn erased from the base paths. And now Nick Harms will come to the plate with the bases empty and 2 away. It's And Harms takes the first pitch up and out. So that is a big play in this game. First of all, and again, they called it out. It looked to me like Sicoli caught it, as that's a called strike, 1-1. And that is an unbelievable play, both in quality and importance by Sicoli. That would be nobody out in a 2-1 game if Sicoli doesn't catch that. Probably a runner at second base, maybe a third for Anderson. Instead, the game remains tied at 1. Now 2 outs in the inning, and Harms batting with the bases empty. Harms struck out his first time up. Behind in the count here. 1-2. Takes that down and in for a ball, and it's 2-2. But that is a huge, huge play in this game, at least at the moment. Second time today, a fly ball has resulted in a double play. And Harms right up the elevator chute. Let's see, catcher Ronski looking for it, and he can't catch it. No error on the play, but tough play there. Ronski will retreat behind the plate. Harms gets new life at the plate here. And this is not the guy you want to give extra outs to. Extra pitches to, I should say, and Nick Harms. Two. Down and in, full count 3-2 on Harms. Tyler Stilson waiting out on deck. A little cloudier out now than when we started the day. They are expecting some rain later. Should be able to get this game in. Is another base hit for Nick Harms through the right side of the infield. He just keeps on hitting. So runner at first and 2 away for Tyler Stilson as the Spartans starting to get a read now, second time through the order against Reynolds. There have been some hard hit balls this inning. Pickoff attempt at first. Harms is back. Nick stole 2 bases in the first game of the day. He has a team-high 11 stolen bases on 11 attempts this season. So certainly a threat to run here with Stilson at the plate. Harms dancing off the bag. Stilson awaiting the first pitch of the at-bat from Reynolds. Nope, pickoff at first again. Good job by Halloran to get that on Harms' back. He just got back a little too quick. Ball 1-0. One missed a shade off the outside corner of the plate. The 1-0. In the air, right field, heading towards the line, and it will drop in for a base hit. Harms rounds the corner at third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's offline. Coming in, standing up is Harms. Getting to third with the triple is Tyler Stilson, who does the roller coaster. Maybe not the most artfully executed roller coaster I've seen from Stilson, but he did it nonetheless. Everyone got into it. And it gives Case Western Reserve on the RBI triple from Stilson a 2-1 lead. An unearned run there. Second unearned run of the inning for the Spartans. Second run of the inning as Case Western Reserve jumps out on top for the first time in this game. And now Franco Alonso, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat, takes ball 1. That is the second triple of the season for Stilson. His 26th RBI as that one hit hard towards short, fielded on a hop. Throw to first is low, but takes a friendly turf hop, and Halloran digs it out, and that will end the inning. But the Spartans score 2 in the frame on 3 hits and take advantage of 2 Emory errors. We'll move along into the 4th. It's Case Western Reserve 2, Emory 1. Heart of the order for the Eagles. Sicoli, Halloran, and Dinkman due up when we get back. Charlie Griffith takes the mound with the lead for the first time today as the Spartans scoring 2 in the bottom of the 3rd to carry a 2-1 advantage into the top of the 4th. Griffith, who has looked good after allowing a 2-out run in the 1st, has been pretty effective today so far. But we'll face the heart of the order here, including Sicoli and Halloran, who have Emory's only 2 hits of the game. Sicoli doubled in the 1st. Halloran followed with a base hit to score a run. And Sicoli will try to get it started here again. Sicoli now hitting a .404 on the year. Takes that up high, ball 1-0. Swing and a miss at the low fastball, and it's 1-1. The Spartans have a very well-rested bullpen. No midweek game. They used just 2 pitchers in game 1, so everyone with the exclusion of Stilson and Shetty should be available for the game. Down low. 2-1. I don't know what the starter plans are for the rest of the week. The Spartans have been using Archer Stankowski out of the bullpen. As that ball hit in the air deep towards left field. Long run for Jay Smith, and it's off the wall. Heading into second will be Sokoli. It's his second double of the game. And now the Eagles, with a leadoff double from Sokoli, have the game-tying run at second base. And Jack Halloran, who had an RBI single in his first at-bat, steps to the plate. Halloran now hitting a .372 on the year. The RBI was his 39th of the season. Still a lot of season left for the Eagles, and Halloran already a ton of RBIs. First pitch outside to Halloran, and it's 1-0. Emory team with a pretty storied history in Division III baseball. Called strike, and it's 1-1. Emory has been to the World Series a number of times. They've finished as the national runners-up twice. In 2007 and then again in 2014. One and one the count on Halloran. Sokoli at second. Griffith, working from the third base side of the rubber, delivers his 1-1. Long look back. Boy, he had a chance to throw there, and he finally does. Yeah, Sokoli trying to distract him here, and he's doing a good job of it. Sokoli's got to be careful, though, because he is jumping off that bag pretty good. And you could see Alonso flashing some signs now to Griffith to try to coordinate here, see if he wants to sneak in behind him on a pickoff attempt. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Came up empty on an inside fastball. And it's 1-2. Big out here for Griffith. 1-2 pitch on the way. Outside, ball 2, 2-2. Another pickoff attempt at second. And that one shot sky high into the infield. Arterburn calling everyone off and makes the catch for the out. One gone. Big out to get. As Halloran retired. One gone. Runner at second base now. Blake Dinchman will now be the batter. Dinchman 0 for 1. A strikeout swinging in his first at bat. First pitch. Went in the dirt, blocked nicely by Anderson, and it's 1-0. Griffith has been very conscious of the base runners so far today. Here's the 1-0 on the way. Bunted, third base side foul. Count evens 1-1 on Dinchman. Brandeis came away with a 4-3 win in Game 1 of their series against NYU. So every UAA team has now won at least one game. So that's up high, 2-1. Wash U and Chicago beginning their second game of the day. Right now scoreless in the bottom of the first in Chicago. Maroons have a man in scoring position at second. 2-1. In the air, right field. Long run for Harms, now in foul territory, will make the catch. Runner will try to move up to third and does so successfully. So Sicoli takes the extra bag with 2 outs now. But Sicoli, who led the inning off with a double, has not crossed the plate yet, and it'll be up to Zach Wasserloff to try to drive him in. Wasserloff 0 for 1, a fly out to center field in his first at bat. He's now hitting a .222. Had a hit and an RBI in the first game of the doubleheader, trying to replicate that here with the game-tying run 90 feet away. First pitch is up high for a ball, and now Jack Anderson's going to run out and have a talk here with Griffith. Zach Barnes is starting to throw in the Spartan bullpen. Not particularly hard, but he's throwing nonetheless. Trying to stay loose. I'd imagine he's going to be the next guy up for the Spartans. Wasserloff stands back in. 1-0 count. 59th pitch of the game. And Griffith misses up high. 85-mile-an-hour fastball a little above the strike zone, and it's a 2-0 count. And there's a strike. 2-1. And he held up, says the umpire out in the field. I think Wasserloff swung there with everything but his bat, as he was just able to hold up, and it's now a 3-1 count. Walk here will put the go-ahead runner on the base pass. Here's the 3-1. Ground ball hit to second. Should end the inning. Alonso with it. Comes up throwing to first. It's low, but Camphausen digs it out. And that will end the inning. So a little scary there towards the end, but Griffith navigates a leadoff double by Sicoli, and we'll move into the bottom of the fourth. The Spartans leading 2-1 over Emory. Camphausen, Smith, and Andreyko due up 5, 6, and 7 in the Case Western Reserve order when we return. Moving along to the bottom of the fourth inning, it's 2-1 Spartans who are coming to bat here. Camphausen followed by Smith and Andreyko. Dane Camphausen doing his ceremonial push-ups prior to his at-bat. Be Reynolds beginning his 4th inning of work.
Leading off the bottom of the 4th inning.
Reynolds held the Spartans scoreless through the first 2 innings, but was hurt by a little by his defense in the 3rd, ended up giving up a pair of unearned runs. And the Spartans now leading 2-1 as Camphausen, Smith, and Andreyko coming to the plate. Camphausen hitting at .353, 0 for 1 with the ground out to 3rd in this one. You can tell that Dane is still not 100%, but even not at 100%, Dane is very capable of making an impact on a game. One and one now, the count on Camphausen, who has 7 home runs this season. Takes ball 2 from Reynolds, 2-1. 19 RBIs for Camphausen, who's played in just 17 games. 2-1 on the way. And he got a pitch to hit there, just missed it, fouling it back. Might have gotten that inside enough. Reynolds, I should say, might have gotten that inside enough to keep Camphausen on his heels. Got evens 2-2. Let's see if we get a breaking ball here with Camphausen, a 2-strike count. Takes that down and out for a ball. Another breaking pitch. And again, I think if you're Reynolds, you want to work that slider off that outside corner against Camphausen. Can't leave him something hanging here, 3-2. Here's the pitch. And that one swung on, and a diving catch at second by Brock Liu. Nice play by Liu at second base to take a hit away from Dane Camphausen, who tried to go the other way. Almost got it through the hole, but really good play by Liu for the first out of the inning. So 1 away now, and that'll bring up Jay Smith, 1 for 1 with a base hit. That came back in the second. First pitch, breaking ball down the middle for a strike. That is a good curve there. Broke it right down the middle of the strike zone and ended up catching the knees for the first strike of the at-bat. The 0-1, another breaking ball, same pitch, same strike. Well, you just get those two. This is a great time to try to skip a curveball in the dirt with the bases empty, 1 away and a 2-strike count here. Smith has got to protect on that low curve. Instead, he comes fastball. That's fouled back, and the count stays at 0-2. If you're Smith here, you've got to be careful. Again, it's the drawback of being in an 0-2 count. You've got to defend against that low breaking pitch, but you also have to be wary of the fastball, and he does just that. He sends an 82-mile-an-hour fastball into to right field for a base hit, and that is just quality hitting by Jay Smith, who has his 2nd hit of the game. So now 1 away for Logan Andreyko, who is hitting at .298 on the season. And Draco grounded 1 back to the pitcher in his first at-bat of the game. One out base hit for Smith. The pitch to Andreyko, breaking ball outside, 1-0. 63 pitches now for Reynolds with 1 out here in the 4th. Here's the 1-0. In the air, deep towards the gap in right center field, but playable for Lawson. And he'll make the catch for the out. So 2 retired. Zach Carinci will now be the batter. Carinci reached on an error back in the 3rd inning, came around to score the first run of the game for the Spartans. Now hitting at .302 on the season. Carinci really making good contact the last 2 weeks. Pickoff attempt at first, diving back as Smith. Smith 2 stolen bases on 3 attempts this season. It's a good opportunity here for him to be in motion to try to get in scoring position for Carinci, who's become more of a singles hitter as his career has gone on. Corinci, 16 hits total this year, just 3 extra base hits. So if you're Smith, if you could get to second, that might go a long way. Not running yet. And that one's in the air. Center field. Lawson charging in, and he makes the catch. A shoestring grab for Lawson in center field to retire Corinci for the final out of the fourth. So we'll move to the fifth inning. 2-1. Case Western Reserve still leading. Bottom of the order for Emory. Wronski, Lou, and Hansen due up when we come back. Day is done for Charlie Griffith, who gives the Spartans 4 solid innings. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Throws 62 pitches in the game and will now give way to Zach Barnes, the sophomore of Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Barnes, a righty, 6'5", 200 pounds. He has been effective out of the bullpen, better than the numbers would suggest. He's 2-1 on the season with a 5.93 ERA through 6 appearances. He has 1 save. He's gone 13 2/3 innings. He's struck out 15, walked just 1, and that's a huge number there. 232 batting average again. So again, for Barnes, you look at the ERA and you say, you know, my gosh, we're going to be able, you know, if you're Emory, we're going to get some runs off of this guy. But the truth is, Barnes has probably pitched well above what that ERA would suggest this year. First pitch misses down low to Wronski, and it's a 1-0 count. So Barnes will get started against the bottom part of the order. Wronski followed by Lou and Hansen, with the Spartans leading 2-1. Ground ball, third base side foul, 1-1. Again, a perfect example talking about how good Barnes has looked despite the ERA. Last week against Wash U, a great example. 4 1/3 innings. Gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, but those runs came late in what was a very lopsided game. He was really sharp early on. Same thing against John Carroll. Went an inning and 2/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, but, you know, again, Barnes didn't get the job done in that game, but at the same time looked very sharp in the early part of it. So, you know, his best outing of the season came against Swarthmore. 3 perfect innings, 5 strikeouts. Swing and a miss, and it's 3-2. So again, I think for Barnes, that ERA number a little bit deceiving right now. He is tough on the hill. 3-2 on the way. Ground ball, foul. And Wronski stays alive. Wronski flew out to left field to end the second. Is only a bat of the game so far. Three-two on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Changeup, I believe, or that might have been a breaking ball from Barnes. It gets the out there. And there is 1 away here in the 5th. Now Barnes will face Brock Lou, grounded out to second. Took a nice play from Franco Alonso to retire him. His first time up, Barnes falls behind 1-0. Ground ball to third. Carinci, 2 gone. It's 5 straight Eagles retired by Spartan pitching, including the first 2 here in the 5th. And now Zach Hansen will be the batter. Hansen drew a walk in the 3rd. Chopper, third base side, but foul. Down low, and it's 1-1. '88 on the fastball from Barnes. That's where he's been sitting for a good portion of this day. Swing and a miss. Another fastball. That one at 86. And that's in there, a called strike 3. Nasty pitch, freezes Hansen for the final out. A 1-2-3 5th inning for Zach Barnes, a 2-1 Emory, our Case Western Reserve lead. As we move into the bottom of the 5th, Arterburn, Anderson, and Harms due up when we come back. Nate Arterburn to lead things off here in the 5th for the Spartans, who are leading 2-1 over Emory after winning game 1 10-2. Arterburn a base hit and an RBI in his first trip to the plate. 1-0 the count on Arterburn. In the air, right field. Easy play out there for Sicoli, and there's one away. So Arterburn retired. So back to the top of the order now. Jack Anderson coming to the plate. Anderson has hit the ball well twice today. A single in the first, and then was robbed of a base hit on a fly ball to center field his last time up. First pitch on the way to Anderson. Sprays that one foul. And it's 0-1. One and one the count now on Jack. Anderson hitting at 343. Outside, and it's 2-1. Reynolds continuing to work on the mound for the Eagles. And that one will be stopped by the shortstop, Hansen. Long throw to first, but no chance to get Anderson for at first. And that'll be an infield single for Jack. Despite a nice attempt there by Hansen at short. And the Spartans with a one-out base runner for Nick Harms, who is 1 for 2 in the second game of the day after going 4 for 4 in the first game. The hottest hitter in the UAA striding to the plate with a runner at first and one away in a one-run game. One's in the dirt. Harms wastes that one. Oh, one count on Harms. Here's the 0-1. And Harms fouls that one away, 0-2. Oh, 2 to Harms. Anderson, who's got good speed at first, takes his lead. The 0-2 pitch on the way to Harms. Reynolds delivers. Anderson runs. Swing and a miss for strike 3. The throw goes into center field, and Anderson will stay there. So it's a strikeout swinging, but a stolen base for Anderson, who's now in scoring position with 2 away for Tyler Stilson. Stilson, a go-ahead RBI triple in his last at-bat, 1 for 2 in the game. Stilson now hitting at 364 on the year. And we'll get a meeting on the mound here. So two-away runner at second for Stilson after the meeting on the mound breaks up. Reynolds delivers, and that ball's in the air, right left field, and it's down for a base hit and gets past the left fielder. Scoring easily is Anderson, pulling it to second with his second RBI hit of the day is Stilson. No error on that play. As the Spartans now lead 3-1. So Case Western Reserve adding to their lead. Stilson's second RBI hit of the day. Nice job for him. Wasting little time in that at bat to add on to the lead. And now Franco Alonso to the plate with a runner at second and 2 away. Alonso 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. He's hitting at .337 on the year. First pitch. Outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Pickoff attempt to second, and not in time. Well, shouldn't say not in time. It was a good slide to get back by Stilson, who had to reach out with his backhand, that left hand, to get around the tag, and just did. Can give credit to Emory, which is had some close pickoff plays so far today. Alonso got one to hit there, but fouls it back. Now behind in the count, 0-2. That one was right in the sweet spot for Alonso, but just missed it. Ground ball short. Hansen with the throw to first. It's offline, but the tag is made for the out. And that ends the inning. So Alonso grounds out to end it, but the Spartans add a run on an RBI double for Tyler Stilson. It's now 3-1 Case Western Reserve as we move to the 6th. Top of the order for Emory. Lawson, Conley, and Sicoli due up when we return. Zach Barnes begins his second inning of work with a pitch down low to the leadoff hitter, Jack Lawson. And it's a 1-0 count. Barnes retired the side in order in his first inning of work. Falls behind here, 2-0. Fastball for a strike, 2-1. Top of the order, Lawson, Conley, and Sicoli for Emory, down 2 against Barnes. In the air, center field, and Draco lines it up and puts it away for the out. One gone here in the 6th. So I'll bring Aiden Conley up to bat with the bases empty and one gone. Conley 0 for 2 in this one with a strikeout swinging and then a fielder's choice. Conley standing and crowding that left-handed batter's box, facing a righty for the first time in this game. Squares to bunt. pulls it back and takes a called strike, 0-1. Outside with a high fastball, and it's 1-1. That one foul back. 1-2 now on Conley. Barnes has retired the first 4 batters he's faced today. Matt Englander, watching him use his pitching staff this year has just been fascinating to watch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. You know, Coach Englander was kind of looking at his stats earlier in the season, and you know, he had a bunch of guys in and no one really with more than 2 wins, and you know, he said, listen, he goes, I don't care if we win conventionally, I don't care if we win pretty or ugly. He goes, I just want to win. And he said the best way we have to win is by kind of sorting out this pitching staff, not really in a traditional manner. It's Sicoli, who has 2 doubles today, both of those coming off of the starter. Griffith steps in. You know, the 1-0. That misses inside. Not by much as Sicoli backs out of the way. But, you know, it's one of those situations where, you know, the Spartans have a plethora of arms. I'm not sure they have the shutdown for 7-inning starter type of arm out there right now, but they have a lot of guys who are effective in shorter bursts. And so you get someone like Barnes, who's good out of the bullpen for 3 or 4 innings, or Oliver Miller, who's probably going to be a guy like that. Popped up behind home plate. Long run over for Jack Anderson, but it will land foul, and it's 2-2. So Barnes trying to retire Sicoli here. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Sicoli down swinging. Barnes gets his 4th strikeout through his first 2 innings of work. He sat down all 6 batters he's faced. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Spartans leading 3-1. It'll be Camphausen, Smith, and Andraco due up when we come back. Camphausen leading off the inning, takes the first pitch from Reynolds, down and out for a ball. Reynolds now 79 pitches, including that one down and out to Camphausen. Dane was robbed of a base hit his last time up on a diving play at second base by Brock Liu on a hard hit liner. The 1-0 on the way. Inside. And that'll be ball 2, 2-0. Outside corner for a strike, 2-1. Dane was going so good before the injury, and I think just taking him a little bit just to get back to where he was. Again, he had that massive game against DePaul earlier. Was it DePaul or was it Heidelberg? I think Heidelberg fouled off. That one cranked foul by Camphausen. So staying alive here. Three-two offering on the way. Reynolds fouls that one back in. 3-2 or 2-2 right now? I think it's 2-2, but I'm not 100% sure. What, 3-2? 3-2? Okay, 3-2 after all. There we go. So another pitch here to Camphausen. And another one fouled away. Nice at bat here. Yep, 3-2 it is. I guess I am wrong every once in a while. Camphausen grounds that one out to short. Hansen with the long throw to first, and it's there in time for the out. So one gone in the sixth for Jay Smith, who's singled in both of his at-bats today, now hitting at .324 on the season. 'Jay Smith, who steps to the plate to the sounds of Careless Whispers. There's a called strike, 1-1. Great selection there by Jay. Two-one to Smith. That ball hit in the air towards right field, and that's going to get down. Smith with his third hit of the game. He takes a big turn at first, but will hold there. A one-out single for Jay Smith. And again, for Jay, 3 straight hits today. So Logan Andraco now the plate with 1 on and 1 away. Andraco 0 for 2. He's had a little bit of a rough day today as he tries to get going. That pitch down low. 92nd of the game for Reynolds, who you got to imagine is coming close to the end of his day. Here's the 1-0. Long pause there for Reynolds, who finally delivers. And timing a bit off there for Andraco, who fouls it off. That's sometimes what you're looking to accomplish there as a pitcher. You take that extra beat, and not only do you kind of control the running game, but you throw off the hitter's timing a little bit too. Reynolds, who's been working pretty quickly for the most part today, there you saw him take that little extra pause, just long enough. Free Smith at first is There he dives back in. One on the way. That one bunted nicely. Third base side, picked up by Reynolds. The throw to first just gets him by a step. Man. Almost. So Zach Carinci now will be the batter. Carinci 0 for 2, but has hit the ball hard twice today. Reached on an error, scored the first run of the game for the Spartans back in the third inning. And that's in the air, deep towards the right center field gap, but playable. And to get it is Sicoli. And that will end the inning. So the Spartans get a one-out single from Jay Smith, but he's left stranded on the base pass, and we'll move into the seventh. Latter third of the game, 4, 5, and 6 for Emory. Halloran, Dinchman, and Wasserloff due up with the Spartans leading 3-1. Jack Halloran to lead things off for the Spartans. Halloran, Dinchman, and Wasserloff due up to face Zach Barnes, who begins his third inning of work, has retired the first 6 batters he's faced, including 4 strikeouts, working with a 2-run lead, 3-1 the score, and that one rocketed down the left field line, but foul, and quickly heading the count now 0-2. Halloran hitting at .368 on the season. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI single back in the first inning. Drove in the only run of the game so far today for Emory. And a breaking ball in the dirt, 1-2. This is a very hot-hitting Emory team, and so what the Spartans have done so far today against the Eagles has been impressive, especially coming off what I think is very safe to say, not the team's finest pitching performance at Wash U, despite the fact that they won 3 out of the 4 games. But after allowing just 2 runs in the first game, so far 1 run here through the first 6 innings of this one. It's a nice bounce-back week for the Spartan pitching staff. Barnes now ready, shakes off a few signs from Anderson, now rocks and delivers the 1-2. And it's in the dirt for a ball, 2-2. 3-1, Spartans leading. Again, Emory with the run in the top of the first on the Halloran base hit. Then Case Western Reserve answered with 2 in the third. An RBI single for Nate Arterburn, an RBI triple for Tyler Stilson. Here's the 2-2. Down and out, ball 3, 3-2. Stilson had an RBI double in the 5th inning that added to the lead. And that's where we've been ever since. Spartans looking for the sweep after winning 10-2 in Game 1. Ground ball foul. Again, it's the first of 4 scheduled games this weekend. The forecast is looking more positive that we'll be able to get in some baseball on Sunday. That didn't always look so clear. Frankly, today didn't look all that clear either for a good portion of the week. But it got a little bit better as the week went on. As you can see, today ended up being about as good as you can ask for on an early April day in Cleveland. 3-2 on the way from Barnes. Swung on, popped up. Shallow center, long run in for Andraco. Now calls everyone off and makes the catch for the out. That's 2 big outs to get. 1 big out to get, excuse me, with Halloran retired. Long at bat there, and now that'll bring up Blake Dinchman, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 7 straight sat down by Barnes. Delivers a called strike, and it's 0-1. Called strike, 0-2. You know, going back to Emory, and you know, I think it goes to show you this is not an easy travel schedule for a UAA team. Not an easy schedule for a home team either, and I get to that in a little bit too, as Dinchman swings and misses. Anderson to first to complete the out. 5th strikeout for Barnes, and there are 2 gone. Zach Wasserloff will be the batter. You know, you get on an airplane, you have to leave early in the morning. You get here, you practice, you get a night, and then you wake up and you get cracking the next day. And this was an earlier game than is normally scheduled. His first pitch fastball to Wasserloff is in there for a called strike. Ground ball is short. Could end it here. Arterburn picks it clean. Throw to first. In time for the out. And another 1-2-3 inning for Barnes. We'll move along to the bottom of the 7th. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Spartans. Arterburn, Anderson, and Harms when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for Emory will be Nick Stellabot to begin the 7th. Tell you about him in just a second. And some of his ties here to Case Western Reserve as well. He takes over for Ryan Reynolds, though, who finishes the game with 3 runs, 1 earned allowed on 9 hits over his 6 innings of work. No walks, struck out 3. Stelabot taking over, and again, Stelabot, his sister, a former soccer player here at Case Western Reserve. Sophia Stelabot. Nick is a sophomore from New York, Fordham Prep. 6'1", 205-pound right-handed pitcher. He's been a big weapon for the Eagles out of the bullpen this year. 2-0 through his 10 appearances that lead the team. He has a pair of saves as well. A 5.29 ERA through his 17 innings of work. He has struck out 10, walked 11, 16 hits allowed for a 246 opponent's average. Nate Arterburn set to lead things off here for the Spartans, who lead 3-1 in this one. Arterburn, an RBI single earlier today. He's 1 for 2 in the game, now hitting at 250 on the year as his average continuing to climb. So Stelabot on the hill, first pitch. Off the plate for a ball, 1-0. In the air, right field shallow, dropping quickly. Lou comes over, and the second baseman makes the catch for the first out. So 1 retired for Jack Anderson, who will step to the plate 2 for 3 in the game with a run scored. Anderson now hitting at 350 on the year. First pitch to Jack on the way, and he sends it foul, 0-1. Spartans leading 3-1. The combination of Charlie Griffith and Zach Barnes have held the Eagles scoreless since the first inning. Ground ball to short. Hansen with the throw to first. It's high and gets away. Anderson will move up to second base and stop there. That'll be a straight error on the throw from Hansen, and now Anderson's going to try for third, and he'll get in safely. And now no one's covering the plate. Anderson, a mad dash home. The tag is not in time, and Anderson scores. Oh, my. Well, a Little League home run for the Spartans. It's a straight error that Jack Anderson on a ball to shortstop scores on. I think there's only one error on that play. I don't think you could score more. It's just slow play by the Eagles infield, and it costs them a run. Unbelievable. Well, Jack Anderson, who is about as heady a baseball player as you'll find, absolutely just taking advantage on a ground ball to short. Should have been out at first. The throw from Hansen is wild. It allows Anderson to move up a bag, and then just slow play, no one covering home plate. Just subpar defense by the Eagles as Harms takes that down low for ball 1, and it's 1-0. And so, yeah, I'm looking back at that play now. There was just no one covering the plate, and Jack Anderson, a mad dash. He just dove over the glove of Nick Stelabot, I think that was Hansen who ended up trying to apply the tag at the end. But, boy, just a huge mistake, a couple of huge mistakes in the infield there for the Eagles. And now a 3-0 count as Stelabot needs to compose himself a little bit here after allowing a wacky run. None of it his fault, but you can just tell just the adrenaline of that play is enough to throw you off your rhythm, and Nick Harms draws a 4-pitch walk. And now Tyler Stilson, who has been the weapon in the offense for the Spartans here in Game 2 today, will step to the plate. Stilson 2 for 3 in the game, an RBI triple in the third, an RBI double in the fifth. First pitch to Stilson. Swung on, fouled back. And it's 0-1. Oh, 1 on the way. That ball hit in the air deep towards the gap in right center, but tracking it is Sokoli, and he'll make the catch for the out. That was another well-hit ball by Stilson, and that one gets away. Harm's trying to move up a bag, and he is out. So that'll end the inning. A absolutely wild 7th inning, but the Spartans get a run out of it on some great base running by Jack Anderson, and we'll move to the 8th. 4-1 the score. Spartans lead by 3. It'll be Ronski, Lou, and Hansen due up when we return. Pinch hitter to start the 8th for Emory with the Spartans leading 4-1. Zach Barnes has sat down all 9 batters he's faced so far in this one. It'll be Adrian Armstrong. 12 straight Eagles retired overall since Matthew Sokoli's double to lead off the 4th. Armstrong checks into the game and takes a called strike 0-1. Armstrong, a junior out of Boulder, Colorado. Left-handed hitting catcher. Pinch hitting here for Ronski, and we'll see if he stays in the game at catcher. The 0-1 from Barnes, and that's inside. Armstrong steps out of the way, and it's a 1-1 count. Armstrong, 3 for 18 on the year for a 167 average. All 3 of his hits have been singles. He scored 5 runs, driven in 1. A little low, and it's 2-1. Keep an eye on Barnes here. Just want to make sure he doesn't run out of gas. That seems to be a little bit of an issue here as he's pitched as a reliever for his Spartan career. And it seems, the Wash U game, even a little bit that second inning of the John Carroll game, just wasn't as effective. Down low again, and it's a full count 3-2 on Armstrong to lead off the 8th. 4-1 Spartans leading. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 86-mile-an-hour fastball up above the strike zone that Armstrong went chasing. And that's now 13 straight Emory players retired. as Brock Lou will be the batter. Lou hitting a .253 on the year. Swings and chops that one. Tough play for charging Carinci, who throws on the run and gets it there in time. 2 gone. So 2 away now for Hansen. Hansen, the 9-hitter, 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout looking today. Barnes currently in line for the win in this one. If the Spartans hold on for the victory, Charlie Griffith started. Went the first 4 innings, so not enough to factor into the decision, but he was effective, and Barnes has shut down the Eagles since coming in. 14 straight Emory hitters retired. 11 of those have been by Barnes in his 3 2/3 innings of work. He's now ahead in the count, 0-2 on Hansen with 2 outs and the bases empty in the 8th. The 0-2 from Barnes. In the air, shallow left. Charging in is Smith. Going back is Arterburn. And on the edge of the infield, Arterburn makes the catch on the pop-up to end the inning. And the Spartans will come to bat in the bottom of the 8th, leading 4-1. It'll be Alonso, Camphausen, and Smith looking to add a little breathing room here as we move into the 8th when we come back. Corey Goldstick taking over behind the plate for the Eagles after Aiden Armstrong pinch hit for Ronski in the top of the inning. That's Jonah Ronski. Franco Alonso to lead things off. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 in the Spartans' order here in the 8th, trying to add on to a 3-run lead. First pitch from Stellabot on the outside corner for a called strike and its own 1. Alonso looking for his first hit of the game. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Here's the 0-1 to Alonso. Swung on, line drive, and that's down for a base hit. Single to right field for Alonso to start the inning off. And now Dane Camphausen will be the batter. Camphausen 0 for 3 in this one. Couple hard hit balls for Dane. Trying to add on to the Spartans' lead here. And Camphausen takes that one outside. Ball 1, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Runner goes. It's inside for a ball. Throw to second is not near the bag, and sliding it safely with his 10th stolen base of the year is Franco Alonso, and he's now in scoring position with nobody out here in the 8th. Emory will have the top of its order coming up, and again, this is a dangerous hitting Emory team. So if you want to try, if you're the Spartans, to add on some more runs here, and that might do it. The ball hit deep to right field, and it is caught at the wall by Sicoli. Moving up to third on the play, as they'll step on the bag here, and we'll see if he left early. He did not, says the umpire out in the field. So Camphausen with a long fly out to right field. 108 miles an hour off the bat. That ball traveled 370 feet. Our hardest hit ball of the day. We got to get that like sponsored or something. You know, we got launch angle. Where is it here? Hold on. Exit angle, 27 degrees. Yeah, that's actually like called strike. But that's why that exit velo can't be right. Because if you hit a ball 108 off the bat and at a 27-degree angle, that's going to end up in Solon roughly from here. That's down low, and it's 1-1. As Eddie correctly points out, the wind is blowing in a little bit, so maybe it'd only make it out to, you know, I don't know, maybe Garfield Heights or something. Infield pulled in, and that's down low, 2-1. Jay Smith at the plate, 3 for 3 in the game. He's had himself a nice day. Good contact hitter here. This is a good spot for him. 2-1. Breaking ball. Nice pitch from Stellabot for a called strike. 2-2. Smith turned on an inside fastball. Get an exit velo on that. 97 off the bat. Two. And that one sent in the air, right field, and it's down for a base hit. Coming in to score is Alonso. He's safe. Boy, that was closer than I thought it would be. It's an RBI single for Jay Smith. That is his 4th hit of the game. And the Spartans add on an important insurance run. It's now 5-1. And Jay Smith leaves the game for a pinch runner. That'll be, I believe, Josiah Harris who takes over. So Harris will be the pinch runner for Smith. I would imagine the move is Harris stays in the game to play second. And then we see Alonso move out to left as Logan Andraco comes up to bat. Harris goes and throw down to second, skipped in there again. And Harris steals the base. Second stolen base of the inning for the Spartans against the new catcher. Look the runner back and finally throw. And a called strike, 1-1, excuse me, on Andraco. Swing and a miss there, 1-2. So the Spartans looking for the doubleheader sweep. One-two offering. And Andraco fouls that one back, and the count stays at 1-2. One-two pitch on the way. Outside, 2-2. And a called strike at the knees as Andreyko down looking for the second out of the inning. So Harris still at second for Zach Carinci. Carinci 0 for 3, but again, has swung the bat well today. And that one wasted by Carinci, 0-1. Carinci 4 hits in the first game of the day. No action in the Spartan bullpen for the moment. It appears that this will be Barnes' game to try to finish out. So that one misses for a ball. Similar to how he was used last week against Wash U. Runners going, and that one's fouled back by Carinci, 1-2. One, two on the way. Up and in, 2-2. Two on the way. Carinci hits that to third. Fielded there by Conley. Throw on to first is there for the out, and that'll do it for the Spartans here in the eighth. However, Case Western Reserve adding on a run. It'll be 5-1 as we move along into the ninth. Last chance for Emory when we come back. Again, 5-1. 4-run lead for the Spartans. Spartans will shore up their outfield defense, bringing in Matt Trout to play center and then moving Andreyko from center to left. Trout will hit in the sixth spot where Josiah Harris had pinch run for Jay Smith. And coming up to bat for Emory, top of their order, Lawson, Conley, and Sokoli due up. It's a 5-1 lead for the Spartans currently. First pitch misses outside for ball one, 1-0. The Spartans looking for the sweep of the doubleheader here today. Won the first game by a final score of 10-2. And the Spartans currently hitting Emory. By far the best pitching performance of the season so far for Case Western Reserve. And a lot of that has been Zach Barnes, who is looking to get through 5 innings of relief work on the mound. He's retired the first 12 hitters he's faced. That one grounded over to Carinci, comes up throwing and gets it there. You don't have a lot of room for error at third base, but Carinci, who knocked down a hard hit ball, 94 off the bat, and stays with it, comes up throwing, and his throw is true for the out, and there's one gone. Again, Emory has not had a base runner since a single to lead off the fourth. That is 16 straight retired now by Spartan pitching as Conley takes ball 1-1-0. And if you're Emory, you're going to head back to the hotel here looking to regroup. Called strike, and it's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, grounded over to short. Backhanded by Arterburn. Throw to first, there for the out, 2 gone. And the Spartans an out away from a near flawless day of baseball here at Nobby's Ballpark. From the weather to the performance on the field, you couldn't ask for more if you're Case Western Reserve. This is as clean as they have looked this season. Spartans committed just 1 error in Game 1. No errors to this point in Game 2. Sicoli, who has the last hit for Emory, bailing out on a breaking pitch inside that he takes for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Sicoli has 2 of the 3 Emory hits. Doubles in the first and fourth innings. That double in the fourth was the last hit by an Emory player. That one sent deep down the line, but foul. And so now Zach Barnes, a strike away. Oh, and 2 the count, 2 away. Barnes rocks and delivers. Inside for a ball, 1-2. 17 straight Emory Eagles sat down, 14 of which have been by Barnes. The 1-2 on the way, and it's low, gets away, 2-2. Two and two the count. Here's the pitch. And that just missed off the outside corner. And the count goes full, 3-2. So full count now on Sicoli. And that one just misses off the inside corner for ball 4. And Sicoli draws the walk. First base runner against Barnes. First base runner for Emory since the 4th inning. Sicoli has been on base 3 times today, and really other than that, Emory has not had anything going on in this game. This is a tough batter, though, here, and Jack Halloran, who can turn the game quickly with 1 swing, and he is certainly capable of delivering that. A team-high 7 home runs. He's driven in 39 now this year, including an RBI single, one of the 3 hits for Emory in the game. That was back in the 1st inning. Halloran takes that for a ball. Just misses off the outside corner. And it's 2-0. Should they need him, the Spartans have Jack Anderson available to try to close this one out. Called strike on the inside edge. I think everyone involved would much rather save Jack for another day here. Barnes trying to close this one out. Here's his 2-1. Off the plate for a ball, and maybe starting to show some signs of fatigue. 3-1 offering. And a called strike on the inside corner. Full count 3-2. So the 3-2 count. Sicoli will get the early start from first. Sicoli takes the lead. Barnes ready. Stares down at first. Now sets to deliver the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Barnes gets the strikeout, and he gets through 5 scoreless innings. Allows just 1 walk and helps to lead the Spartans to a 5-1 win and a doubleheader sweep over Emory. Again, a near perfect day of baseball. You couldn't ask for better than you got if you're the Spartans, who improved to 6-1 in conference play. Emory, which entered the day with just 7 losses on the season, drops to 17-9 on the year. Case Western Reserves improves to 16-8. In UAA play, Emory now back to 500 at 3-3. Case Western Reserve stands at 5-1 on the year. The winning pitcher is Zach Barnes. Barnes will raise his record on the year to 3-1. No save in the game. The loss goes to Ryan Reynolds, and Reynolds will drop to 2-4 on the season. The game lasted 2 hours and 25 minutes. Attendance here was 246. Want to thank everyone once again for joining us today. A reminder that we will be back with you supposedly tomorrow. I wouldn't be shocked, and make sure you go tune into athletics.case.edu to see if there are changes. It wouldn't be shocking if there are some adjustments to the schedule, with the weather looking very dicey tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. But again, thank you for joining us today. Final score of this one is 5-1 after a 10-2 win earlier in the day for the Spartans, who take 2 from Emory University. We'll be back supposedly tomorrow, maybe on Sunday, who knows, here at Nobby's Ballpark, but today was a good one. Final score again, 5-1. Spartans win game 2. Have a great rest of your night, everybody.